Hey guys, and welcome to the Geeks and Greeks podcast. The podcast focuses mostly on the NFL, but we also do talk about other sports such as the NBA and MLB, as well as video games and what else is going on in our lives. Step into the conversation of three friends who love sports and who love doing this. You can find us on YouTube, as well as Spotify, Amazon, and Apple podcast platforms, and we're also on Facebook, all with the same moniker, Geeks and Greeks. Thanks for stopping by. We hope you guys enjoy the show. As we're all drinking to the sound of applause of Dallas Cowboy fans finally winning a game against the worst team in the actual NFL. But hey, you know what? A win's a win at this point. I'll take what I can get.
I mean, that was a dominating win that I honestly didn't expect. I was disappointed. I thought the Panthers were gonna beat them.
You know, it's one of those things where if I would have tuned in like later on Sunday and seen that they lost, I wouldn't have been surprised. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that sounds about right. The way the season has gone. It's just at this point, I don't want to win more games. Keep losing games. Let's go for a better draft pick at this point.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, I'm hoping they can get a top 10 pick and pick up Genty out of Boise State. To be honest with you, him and pick up some guards too later in the first and couple second and third rounds. Build your line back up. Bill, you need a running back. Get a running back, please. Just bring me in a running back.
Yeah. Meanwhile, here in Philadelphia, we're cheering the win against the Steelers. Keep the streak going. The Steelers have not won in Philly since 1967. No, 65. So it's been, what's that, 60 years or something ridiculous like that?
59.
50 years. 50 years.
So yeah, I think it'll be 60 years next year if they win again. Or if they play again.
Well, we play every 4 years and we alternate spots, so it'll be like another 8 years before they're back here, I think.
All right, so yeah, basically it's been 60 years since they've won in Philly.
Yeah.
It was funny when you told us that, I'm like, that can't be true. So I actually looked at it, I'm like, oh shit, it is true.
I thought the same thing when I saw it online. I was like, this has got to be like hyperbole, like fake news, and then I kept seeing it sourced over and over again. I was like, maybe there's something to this.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
If anyone else that has that long of a losing streak like that.
In my research of it, I found the wiki page for the rivalry between the Steelers and the Eagles. And the Eagles have pretty much dominated that rivalry. Like, I know the Steelers have a bunch of Super Bowl rings and blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, we've dominated the hell out of them when we play them. We win the rivalry.
Right? Yeah, I was kind of looking at that too, and I'm like, it's not even close. Like, not at all. Like, the only time the Steelers probably would have really won is when they became the Steagles. And they got the wins with the Eagles. Like, other than that, they've owned them.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along to QB Survivor. With 6 quarterbacks remaining, we have 3 from the AFC with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes, and 3 quarterbacks from the NFC with Jordan Love, Jared Goff, and Matt Stafford.
How wonderfully,
by the way, guys.
Yeah, it was like how wonderfully diverse of us.
Just right down the middle. Pete, who are you on the chopping block?
I am so glad that you took me first, man. I don't know if you saw this, but we had 2 different quarterbacks throw 5 touchdowns. How are you going to do that? We got like 2 weeks left. Right, we've got to eliminate freaking quarterbacks over here, and you're putting up numbers like that. How the hell am I supposed to vote people off? But thankfully, Matthew Stafford did not put up any touchdowns, and he only threw for 160 yards. and you picked me first, so it saved me from having to put Patrick Mahomes up.
You know, I was kind of hoping I was going to go first this week because I didn't want to put Patrick Mahomes up either. Because I've done it like 2 or 3 times already, and like I swear to God, it's going to feel like I'm picking on Patrick Mahomes at this point. So I'm going to buck it. I'm not going to put him up because I refuse to do it this time. I'm going to make Tom do it if he's going to get put up this week. So mine is Jordan Love.
Okay.
Besides for Patrick Mahomes, he had the worst week of the guys that were left. Which he had a good week. Like, he had 230 yards. He had 74% completion percentage, which is insane. 2 touchdowns and no interceptions and a 90 QBR. The problem is this was the 3rd worst quarterback of the week of who was left. Like, I am because I'm pretty sure I know Goff had 5 touchdowns, and I'm pretty sure Allen had 5, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
was it Allen?
No,
I thought
Lamar.
it was Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Like
Josh Allen had
Josh
2.
Allen's been on such a run, I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. I was going to say if it was him, 2 quarterbacks had 5 touchdowns each in the same game. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, like, and so I'm like, unfortunately, Love had the 3rd worst week, so I'm like, I got to go with Jordan Love on this one. So, Tom, who are you putting up?
Well, I find it hilarious that all of us had the exact same 1, 2, and 3. But one of us doesn't want to go in order and went with 3. So,
Say it.
The Kansas City Chiefs won by their greatest victory margin this season. You know how much of a kick in the crotch it would be if I put Patrick Mahomes on the chopping block this week? Well, we'll find out, because Patrick Mahomes is on the chopping block.
The sad thing is he also got hurt. He got taken out of the game, too. Like, I feel bad. One of the reasons I couldn't vote for him.
You know what this means now, right, Pete?
What's that?
Carson Wentz is going to lead the Chiefs to a Super Bowl.
It's not going to happen. I have no fear of that happening. I think that instead of that, the Chiefs just won't make it to the Super Bowl.
I don't know, man. He took Philly. He was there when Philly won.
He was on the bench out of the way when Philly won the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, because Nick Foles is such a huge upgrade.
You didn't need an upgrade. The team won the game. You just needed somebody who wasn't going to lose it for us.
That's what's going to happen in Kansas City, man. Carson will just manage the game. Andy Reid's got his guy. He'll figure him out.
I mean, if anybody could do it, it'd be Andy Reid. That man is a quarterback guru.
Dude, how big of a kick in the pants would it be if that actually happens?
I mean, so like...
And not just that he's on the bench, that he's actually the one playing the game when they win.
To put it into context here, right? So Andy Reid took A.J. Feely and managed to convince the Miami Dolphins that he was a starting quarterback. And when they found out that he wasn't and sent him back here, he managed to convince the Rams that he was a starting quarterback. That's how good of a quarterback coach Andy Reid is. So if anybody can do it...
And he got that man paid twice.
He did. Got him paid twice. And he did not have the talent of a starting quarterback, no matter where he played.
I will say, he was a very good backup. He was a very good backup quarterback.
Yeah. Yep.
He was not a starting quarterback caliber player.
He could play 5 games a season, and that is it.
I still say the greatest backup quarterback ever was... who used to be behind Peyton for all those years, Tom?
Painter?
No, the decent one. The one when he was like a rookie and when he first came in, like the early 90s, like late 90s and early 2000s.
I'm sorry.
Jim Sorgi, that's who it was.
Sorgi, that's it.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Did we somehow miss that the Colts depth chart used to read Peyton Painter?
I don't know if we missed it. We just, no one ever thought about Painter. Like that. I mean, he wasn't Peyton Manning.
Right? Debating Manning.
Peyton Manning. Is that a new commercial I haven't seen yet?
Oh, you haven't seen that one? Oh, it's so good.
Great.
Yeah, he's debating Manning now.
I feel like there's
He's
a third
debating like a high school, like Catholic schoolgirl. It's like,
I feel like there's a third one that he did too. Like he's done like 3 of them now. He did Peyton because he did Debater, and I forget the other one.
I think there's one where he's like a math teacher or something.
Teaching Peyton. I don't know. Maybe. They're hilarious.
They are. I love Peyton Manning.
Makes you almost want to get nationwide insurance just because.
Now that's good marketing.
Hey.
Well, I mean, what else is it for, right? It's to make you want to buy nationwide insurance.
Pete, who are you voting on?
I suppose that I have to stay true to my list. And I did put it in Stafford, Mahomes, Love order. So I'm going to have to say I'm going to vote for Mahomes because, let's be honest, he had a worse game than Jordan Love did. But I hope both of you vote for Stafford and he stays.
Adam, who are you voting for?
See, it's hard because we know Patrick Mahomes is a way better quarterback than Stafford, but the problem is now he's hurt with a high ankle sprain, so I highly doubt he's going to play the rest of this actual season. So, really, because of that, I'm also going to vote for Patrick Mahomes because I'm pretty sure. I mean, you've got 3 weeks left of the season.
Yep.
At this point, I mean, they might lose like the number 1 seed in full home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather rest Peyton Manning. Wow. I'd rather rest Patrick Mahomes and get him ready for the playoffs at that point. So I don't think they're going to play him the rest of the season. So I'm going to vote him off and let Stafford survive and see what happens for the next week.
All right. I am going to declare that we are activating the Hurts So Good initiative, as so named, for Jalen Hurts, and it's where we eliminate a quarterback and he takes a small rest and then has a 9-week winning streak.
10 weeks now, sir. 10 weeks.
So we wish you well. I want my 3-peat. Mahomes, go get him, but for now, you're off the island.
Oh my god, the quarterback is toast!
That was awesome.
No, stop trying to collect Matt Stafford.
I'm kind of surprised he's off this early, but then again, when you look at the year he's had, not really either. Like, it's been such a weird year by his standards.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when you look at the people that are left on the list, it's hard to, I mean, I get it. He's 12-1. He's the best team in the league, blah, blah, blah. But you're right. He's probably not going to play the rest of the season, and sorry, good.
I would like to point out that the 3 quarterbacks that avoided the conversation, they had to get above 90 QBR and have 5 touchdowns or 2 if you're the one that has the 95 QBR. I think we're doing really well. We're setting the bar pretty high.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things, like, it's been crazy this year watching Josh Allen play. Like, there's been games where I legit feel like I'm watching a high school kid play. Like,
Yeah.
it feels like he's just that much better than everyone else on the field. And I've never seen that at the NFL level. Like, I mean, high school you see it all the time. College you even see it at times as well. I've never seen someone that looks just that much better in every aspect of his game than everyone else in the field. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I really don't.
Yeah.
This almost might be a team of destiny at this point.
I mean, there's a lot of teams that feel like a team of destiny. You got the 3-peat, you got Detroit, you got Baltimore, you got Philly. Like, all of them could make an argument that this is the team of destiny this year.
I mean, you could, but when I look at those rosters, minus maybe the Chiefs, but only barely because they have Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones, like, when you look at the teams on paper, the Bills look the worst of all of them.
Yeah.
Like, just looking at the team on paper and from that perspective, this team shouldn't be this good. It's Josh Allen, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that's why this team feels more like a team of destiny because we kind of expected all the other teams that are this good to be this good. Like, we expected the Bills to win their division and make the playoffs, but we weren't expecting this kind of team to be playing. So that's kind of why it feels more like to me that this team in particular is a team of destiny. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's move along to winners and losers. Last week, we had Adam take the Ravens to win over the Giants. Sure did. 35-14. Way to go. Pete took a long shot with the Panthers to win over Dallas with the tightest margin ever. Unfortunately, the Cowboys seem to pull one out. They didn't get the memo that they're trying to go for draft picks.
Funny thing is I actually put money on that game too.
Dallas wins 30-14. I took Chiefs to win over Cleveland. Chiefs won 21-7 in their greatest margin of victory this year.
Nice.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Patrick. All right. And on the loser side of the fence, Adam took the 49ers to lose to the Rams. Sure did. 12-6. In the... Oh, yeah, never mind that one. Oh, yeah. This game was the one that the Rams were beating them so bad that they had linebacker leaving the game.
We'll talk about that one later.
Yeah.
Pete took the Texans to lose to Miami. Unfortunately, the Texans won 20-12. And I took the Giants to lose to Baltimore in a real easy call. Giants lost to Baltimore 35-14. With week 15 in the books, Adam is ahead at 21. I am keeping close pace at 19, and Pete's going for a dramatic comeback thing. I just know it, and he's at 15.
Draft pick. He's going for a draft pick.
He's going for a draft pick.
Look, even if I get all of mine right and Adam gets all of his wrong, I don't think I even catch him at this point.
No, you'll get it.
Oh, there's 3 weeks. That's right. There's 3 weeks.
So
Okay.
you'd have to go perfect the rest of the season, not to miss every single one of my picks.
Let's get to it. Come on.
All right.
Now for week 16 predictions. Adam, who are you predicting to win in week 16?
So, my winner's pick this week actually has the highest odds by ESPN.
Yep, I got
and
you.
I'm going to be taking Green Bay to beat the Saints.
I would be surprised if you didn't.
Like, I'm looking at the teams I have left, and I'm like, there's a couple where I'm like, I'm surprised I haven't taken any of these teams yet. So I saw Green Bay. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll go ahead and cash this one in. So, yeah, I've got Green Bay over the Saints, and so we'll see what happens there. And I think this is the Monday night game, too, if I'm not mistaken. It's either Sunday night or Monday night, one of the two.
Monday night, yeah.
I don't know why they put the Saints on Monday night TV.
Yeah. I guess everybody gets prime time one time, right?
I don't know, man. I don't think the Jags or the Raiders did this year.
Does the London game count as prime time?
No, because it's at
Overseas?
9 a.m. on Sunday
Oh,
at
yeah.
the church.
Yeah, fair. Damn churchgoers.
Oi, hurt.
I wouldn't watch it either. I didn't watch it even when it was on at 9. I was up and around the house.
Pete, who's your week 16 winner?
So, in keeping with my new thing, I went for the lowest spreads that I had available. which were pretty big. So for the first one, I'm picking the Arizona and Carolina game, with Arizona being a 5-point favorites and my pick for the win. So
Cardinals
we go.
win over Carolina. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think we'd have crossover this quickly, but we sure do. I am also taking the Packers to win over New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Packers Saints. I was like, yeah, absolutely.
And it's weird. Like I have such a hodgepodge of teams left that I can choose. Like that I have available to choose from. And at this point, I think the Chiefs are also still one of those teams I have left to choose from.
The funny thing was for Adam had both the option to take the Packers as the winner or the Saints as the loser. He could have gone either way on that one.
Yeah.
But since he's not going to be taking the Saints as his loser, who are you taking, Adam?
So my losing team is actually kind of interesting because this is actually, according to ESPN, a even split. There is no favorite in this game. I'm taking the Raiders to lose to the Jaguars.
Okay.
Whoa.
And Tom is shocked.
I mean, flying across country, playing in hostile territory. I mean, I guess Vegas isn't really hostile territory. Nobody's from Vegas.
Isn't really home territory, really.
Yeah.
No, it's
Like-
just Raiders Jacksonville is one of those. It's practically the same team. I mean, I know 2-11 versus 3-11, but statistically, they're so lined up that it's literally a mirror match in those old '80s video games.
Which is why ESPN gave him an even split with no favorite.
Yeah, that
Because they're
that
legitimately
tracks.
the same team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm like, you know what? I still have the Raiders on the board, so we'll go ahead and take the Raiders this week and see what happens.
All right, and Pete, who are you taking as your Week 16 loser?
So this one is a 6.5 point spread. So like I said, smallest ones of the teams I got left at this point. And I will be taking the Chicago Bears to lose to the Detroit Lions at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
I thought about that one too because I still
Yep.
have the Bears left as well.
Yeah.
But part of me is also like, you know what? The Bears are the Bears, and so I still have a couple more weeks to pick them to lose.
Right.
Like I'm kind of I find myself a little bit of a disadvantage because after this week, I've only got one team that might win a game, so people are going to be very hard. So I think I kind of screwed myself on this one a little bit.
That's all right. I'll catch you before it's over.
Maybe. I guess it really depends on what the matchups are.
Well, I've been feeling kind of left out in the dog pile on Dallas Cowboys band.
Uh-oh.
So I thought I would get on towards the end of the season and join up and say I'm taking the Cowboys to lose to Tampa Bay.
All righty.
That might be a good game.
It's not as good as I'd like, but options are what they are.
Options are limited.
Yes.
I mean, could be worse.
Oh yeah, it could be a lot worse. What was
It's going to get bad for me here in a couple weeks.
Chiefs Houston? That one terrified me.
Yeah, that's why I didn't pick the Chiefs.
Because they were a slim margin when Mahomes was healthy. Now I have no idea what's going to happen.
Right? That's kind of what I want to take this week to see how the Chiefs do without him to see what happens and then kind of go from there. Because
Yeah.
there's a good chance I may not have a team I feel comfortable picking a winner as left at all after this week.
Adam's like, I got two teams, and I'm taking...
Neither.
I'm going to sit out this week, boys.
Just going to call a mulligan.
All right. right. That moves us along to the elimination postmortem. This week we saw the Steelers, the Texans, and the Vikings join the Lions, Eagles, Chiefs, and Bills in clinching a spot in the playoffs. That's right. We got 2 teams from the NFC North clinched before we had a solid NFC West or an NFC South. Come on, guys, get on it.
That ain't gonna happen. You know that.
Yeah.
Especially the NFC. I mean, both those honestly are probably gonna come down to Week 18 games.
Probably. But we also saw the Bears and the Panthers join the ranks of the eliminated. So we will start our post-mortem with Panthers. Panthers. It's a panther.
Is it a panther?
Jackal. Is it a jackal? It's a jackal. Is it a jackal? I think it's a jackal.
Or shit, I actually brought up the Bears page because I thought it was a bear, apparently.
Panthers currently sitting at 3-11, winning against the Raiders, the Saints, and the Giants. And I'm hoping this means the curse of the Carolina Reapers is finally over, because we can't lose any more quarterbacks or coaches.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking at their schedule, and they've beaten no one, right? They might as well be 0-13 at this point, because the only teams they beat are Vegas, New Orleans, and New York Giants. Right. Like, they've beaten nobody, but they really have felt almost there in so many games. And I think the problem is just, it's just, the team gelling, being on the same page. Like, I don't even necessarily think they're missing any pieces to be a 500 team. They're probably missing some pieces to get to the playoffs, but to be a 500 team, I don't know if they're necessarily missing pieces. They just need, I don't know if it's time together or if they need a different style of coaching so that they can be on the same page. But they've fallen apart in a lot of games late. They lost 2 games they won one game in overtime and lost another in overtime. Like, who goes to overtime with the Giants? But at the same time, they felt almost right there. With
Cowboys almost did.
Right. I mean, yeah. But the Cowboys suck.
Yeah.
I mean, they only lost by 3 points to the Chiefs. Took the Buccaneers to overtime. I mean, they only lost by what? I guess it was 6 points to Philly. These are all games within a touchdown. It feels like they're right there. But I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. They're definitely getting a lot better, especially from like the team that we saw at the beginning of the season. Like they're at least, it looks like they're building a competent team. I think you're right. I think it's just gelling. Because I'm pretty sure Dave Canellis, this was their head coach. This was either his first or maybe second year. Like the coach is brand new.
Right.
I just think they just honestly just need more time. Because I think we've talked about this before too. Like, it takes at least 2 years for a coach to really fully implement his kind of system and play on a team.
Yeah.
Like it's not like fair or reasonable to expect a coach to come in and in 1 year completely turn everything around. Like, it's happened, but it happens so infrequently that it's dumb to expect it. And you're setting yourself up for failure if you do. Like, that's why I think, in a year or two, even next year if they go 500, that might win the division in this division.
Fair.
When you look at this division, I think the Falcons are number 1, or the Buccaneers. They're 8-6. And the Falcons are 7-7. So 500 could win this division. So
right.
That's the sad part. This division is probably the worst in football and has been for a long time. And like, I don't know. Like, I think in a couple years they could possibly have something, man. And Bryce Young may not be the bust that we all think that he is. Like, it's just one of those things where I just think they need time to just develop. And they're still a really young team. And any good players that they had that were veterans, they shipped out in the last couple of years. So, yeah. I feel bad for Panthers fans right now, but I think if you give it a year or two, I think you'll be in a lot better spot than where you are. And I think we'll be talking about them being in the playoff hunt only because they're in the NFC South, the worst division in.
All right. So next we have the Chicago Bears sitting at 4-10, having won against the Titans, the Rams, Panthers, and Jaguars. Rams being their only victory over a plus 500 team. The Rams sit at 8-6. Bears' big thing they did in the draft was draft Caleb Williams. He's been an okay quarterback. He's QBR is sub 50, 61% completion rating, 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's not Ryan Leaf, but there's room for improvement.
Yeah, so this is one of those teams where I know that I've kind of shit on Williams a bit this season, and to be fair, he's earned a lot of it. But at the same time, I mean, because especially now, when you watch him play, he's playing scared. But that's also part of being a rookie on a bad team. Like, that's gonna happen, I think. I will say, I mean, their 4 wins all came in the first 6 weeks of the season.
Right.
Because they ended up going 4-2, and then they haven't won since they lost to the Commanders on the play where their defensive back was jaw-jacking with the fans and let the receiver run by him and get a touchdown on the last play of the game. Ever since that play happened, this team has just been in a free-for-all. But they've also been in games. They lost to the Commanders by 3. They lost to the Packers by 1. They lost to the Vikings by 3 and the Lions by 3. I mean, they hung in there with their division, and their division is really good. Packers, Vikings, and Lions are all going to be playoff teams. The Vikings and Lions are already clinched. Packers just need to win this week, and I'm pretty sure they'll clinch if they win this coming week. They have played well and have been in games. It's just, again, this is still a really young team, and why everyone thought they were going to be an automatic playoff bid just because of one person is just dumb. We'll see Caleb Williams get better. He's not going to get worse, I don't think. I think they're going to bring in someone that's actually going to have more of a system that fits him, which a lot of teams don't do, is fit their system with their players. They try to fit their players into their system, which is a square peg in a round hole. So we'll see what happens next year. I mean, who knows? This could be the best division of football next year. I mean, we could look at there could potentially be all 4 teams make the playoffs.
That would be nuts.
So now we have 3 wild card spots. I mean, it's possible. Like I said, I mean, Detroit and Minnesota are both 12-2, and Green Bay's 10-4. And I mean, those 4 3-point losses, flip those to wins. That's they're 8-6, a plus 500. They're the only division that has 3 teams at plus 500. They're all 4 teams at plus 500. So I don't know. We'll see what happens in the coming years, but this will be a good team. This will be a pretty good team, I think, in a year or two, honestly. You just shore up that offensive line and get a few more receivers and a running back, and I think you got something.
I do think it's kind of funny how they were on a 3-game win streak going into the bye and then haven't won since. And so it's something about the bye week just got to them, and I don't know if they went on a cruise and ate some bad shrimp or what happened, but they lost the magic on the bye week. And I don't know, I thought Caleb Williams was going to be better than he was. I bought the hype. We all know that. And yeah.
So what you're saying is the Bears on the bye week is the opposite effect of the Eagles on a bye week.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, it is.
Exactly.
The Eagles always catch lightning in a bottle after the bye week.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears fail after the bye week.
Yep.
All right, moving on to the next segment. We have our little tribute to the Eagles and Saquon Barkley.
Oh, I brought my board.
All right.
How are you doing today, Rachel?
Do you want to do this part, or do you want me to?
Yeah. So just to recap for everybody, we need 2105 yards to beat the record, or that's what the record is. So we need 06 to beat it. We're at 1688. We had a little disappointing week this week. So against the Steelers, we only put up 65 yards, which kind of sucks. Saquon got injured in the middle of the game, but he was back. He did finish out the game. He did play in the end. So we think he's okay. We think he's still good here. Unfortunately, it does mean that we're a little bit off track. We're now at 139 yards per game in order to finish out and beat the record. But what we got next is the Commanders, who are now averaging 155.5 yards let up on the ground. That's insane. So their run defense is terrible. And then we got the Cowboys, who are presently averaging 136 yards on the ground.
Buy that for a second.
Yeah, so, and then finally we got the Giants, who have the best run defense of them all at only 111. I'm sure by that time we'll be able to just knock it out of the park, and we'll get there. So unfortunately, just under 140 a game is a bit of a tall task, but we can get there. It's not lost yet. We're almost home.
Now, for any of you who are saying that this performance means that it's over, no, we knew this was going to happen. If you just have to go back to the Saquon episode of the Geeks and Greeks podcast. Not now, maybe after this one, you can go back and listen to it. But our sports analyst Pete called this. He said that the Steelers have an insane defense, and we would expect lower numbers. So this was not unexpected. But you have to admit that Saquon was by far the best rush producer of this game. And do you want to know who was second? Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Push is a thing, man.
It is.
Jalen Hurts put up more rushing yards than any three Steelers combined. And Saquon did more than every Steeler as a whole.
That's funny. I would have thought Kenny Gainwell was the second. He had a good game, too. At least for him, anyway.
But no, I'm very optimistic looking at the defenses they're about to come up against, and I'm also factoring in certain teams to just accept death and start going for the draft and just like have it.
Yeah. And I mean, when you want to run the clock out, you run the ball, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that Dallas does that. Like I said, at this point, take the guys that you know are going to be good. You know, like take out Parsons, Lawrence is injured reserve. But like, you know, all these guys that you're going to be banking on next year, just sit them, let the young guys play, get some on-field experience, and just take your lumps for the rest of the season and just play for the next year.
I mean, I think with a guy like, what's his face? Mike Parsons. Instead of sitting him, maybe you rest him, play him 25%, play him 20% of snaps, keep him in the game, keep him, fresh.
Maybe like first and third down.
Yeah. I mean, you might want to take out somebody who'd be like an every down player. But with linebackers, you can kind of hide it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that's what I would do.
Once this year, that's what kind of scares me.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I get your point though. Like play him for make it a preseason game. Play the first quarter, sit the rest of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Play the first two drives.
Right.
But yeah, like it's I don't know, you know what? I hope he gets it. The problem is what sucks the most, and the more I watch and look at it, even if he breaks the record, he's not getting the MVP. It's going to Josh Allen. The way he's playing right now and the way that the Bills are performing, unfortunately, I hate saying it, but I would probably bet money that Josh Allen's going to get the MVP now. And it sucks because, to me, if you're breaking an NFL all-time record, that's an MVP player.
You think that if he breaks the record, he's not going to get it? I think that's the mark. I think he has to break it, and then they'll just give it to him. But he's not getting it if he doesn't. He doesn't break it.
I hope to God I'm wrong. Like, I would love to see Saquon get the MVP. I really wish I was wrong, but I think that this is such a quarterback-driven league that it just defaults to the quarterback, even with a record-breaking season like this.
It would be such a slap in the face if that's how it went down. You break the record, but we're still not giving you the award. That would
I could see him getting Offensive Player of the Year, maybe, but like I just don't see him getting MVP the way Josh Allen's playing. Unfortunately, I don't like to say it. I think that's the way it's going.
No, if I thought you were wrong, I'd say it, but that's the bad part. Is I'm fairly certain you're right.
Like the only hope I have is that with college they just had like their awards ceremony. And number 1 and number 2 finishers for the Heisman, neither one of them were quarterbacks.
Oh, nice.
So Travis Hunter won, who was a wide receiver / corner. He played both ways this season and last season. And then Ashton Genty out of Boise State was number 2 to Travis Hunter. So I think third was a quarterback, though. But like the fact that the top 2 for Heisman votes wasn't a quarterback, kind of nice and kind of refreshing, to be honest with you.
Oh, it
was close. Like, it was a really close vote.
Oh, yeah, it was. Okay, so check this out. Travis Hunter, the winner, got 2,231 points. Then Ashton Genty, the second place, the one we were talking about going after Barry Sanders' record, he got 2,017. He was a little less than 200 points away from second. Third place was 516.
Like,
those two guys together had 80% of the votes.
Wow.
Who was third place? Was it Cam Ward?
It was a quarterback. I didn't get his name. I should have, though.
So I know Cam Ward was getting a lot of attention. I think it was maybe Jared Milroe out of Alabama, possibly.
Dylan Gabriel out of Oregon.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, there you go.
Cam Ward was
I know
fourth
Oregon
with
won the Big
229
Ten
points.
conference this year, which just feels so weird to say.
But yeah, that stood out to me, that margin where they were neck and neck with 2,000 points, and then third place was 500.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, like I said, maybe Saquon will get it. I hope he does. I think Josh Allen has it, unfortunately. Unless he doesn't play like the last 2 weeks of the season.
No, it's the...
And even then he might still get it because he was so good they didn't have to play the last 2 weeks of the season.
No, I have faith. It's the year of the unappreciated position.
Damn
We're
straight.
gonna get Saquon in there.
That'd be great.
I tell you what, I mean, especially we haven't even touched on it, but the Montgomery injury. So David Montgomery in Detroit is out for the rest of the season. Hence my my little handle down there. I think this is the year that people stop underrating running backs. I really do. I think Detroit falls apart because they lose David Montgomery. And I think Philadelphia wins the Super Bowl because they have the best running back in the NFL.
See, I don't think Detroit's going to fall apart because David Montgomery's not there. They still have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's a really good running back.
I know.
It just Montgomery provided more of a physical style than what Jahmyr Gibbs brings. But, I mean, it's possible. We'll see. I mean, the Lions have a lot of guys that are hurt right now.
Yeah.
A lot of guys.
Mostly on defense, yeah.
Yeah. Like I was listening to one of the podcasts I listened to this week, and he was talking about how at this point, by the time the playoffs hit, the Lions might be getting guys from the Pistons and the Tigers to come out there and play defense because all the guys are hurt.
Oh, shit.
It's like, you know what? Maybe.
I mean, basketball players can play corner, right? Just swat them balls down. That's all you got to do. Jump up and swat it down.
You got to jump, yeah. They're athletic enough to stay with them.
Hell yeah.
They can do those quick cuts like that.
We'll have oxygen on the sideline. I know you're not used to running.
Shit, they probably run. They run more than football players do.
No.
Football players are only moving in 10 seconds at a time.
All right.
Okay, so let's move along to the trivia segment of the show. To a game I call Won't You Be My Neighbor? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an NFL team, and you have to tell me who their geographically closest NFL neighbor is.
Ooh.
Okay.
Now the answer is going to use the highest level of technology, Google Maps.
All right.
And I'm literally going by miles between their stadium as the answer.
Okay.
So, Pete, who is the Colts' closest neighbor?
Geographical closest neighbor to the Indianapolis Colts. I heard an interesting term today. Sorry, just to interject while I'm thinking.
Yeah, go for it.
It was called. They were talking about Indiana and the Indiana region, and they called it Inditucky.
You're not far off.
Yeah.
I am gonna go with the Chicago Bears.
Unfortunately, not.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears are 181 miles away, but there's someone closer. Adam, do you want to try and steal?
It's the Bengals.
Correct, at 112.
Mm.
Adam, Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh.
Closest one, I'm gonna go with. Like Jets Giants at MetLife Stadium.
Correct, 95.
Oh, really? I was gonna say it was Baltimore.
They're super close.
Uh huh.
Jets Giants is 95. Ravens is 98.
Having driven both of those drives, I can tell you that the Ravens feels closer.
I mean, you're going through Jersey, so I figured you'd be driving faster so you don't die while you're in there.
Yeah, but it's Jersey drivers, so you get people in front of you that are going 25 under the speed limit for some reason.
Now, to show you that I'm not completely heartless, for when it gets that close, I will take either answer because
All right.
I'm not going to be that much of a jerk about it.
I didn't know that. I didn't think they were that. I didn't know they were that close.
Yeah, there's a couple of them like that are crazy close.
It's all on the same highway, too. You start on I-95 at Jet Stadium, and you just keep driving. You get the Philly Stadium, and you just keep driving. You get the Baltimore Stadium. It's awesome.
Pete, who is the closest neighbor to the Cowboys?
Ooh, the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I think the obvious answer is the Houston Texans. The only other possible answer, would the Saints make sense? I'm terrible at geographic location. You're asking the wrong Lindsay, man. My dad should be in here. He'd be able to get all of these. I'm going to go with the Houston Texans.
Correct.
All right.
266 miles.
See, I was thinking maybe Kansas City was close.
Yeah,
Just 'cause
okay.
of how big Texas is.
Yeah.
That could have been like a trick question.
Ironically, Chiefs and Saints are both around 520. Chiefs at 519 and Saints at 523. But
All those
go ahead.
all those states down there are all weirdly shaped too. Like most states are square or square-ish. Down there, there's like, fuck it. This one looks like an axe. This one looks like a gun. This one looks like a frying pan.
Louisiana legit looks like a boot.
Like it looks like a boot. Yeah. Like, fuck it.
Adam, Buccaneers.
Tampa. Ooh. So I feel like there's 3 teams that this could possibly be at this point. It could be either Atlanta, Jacksonville, or Miami. I know. I don't think it's. I don't know, man. They're all about this. I think they're close to the same distance. I'm gonna go with the Falcons.
Incorrect.
Damn.
Oh,
Want
damn.
to steal it?
That's who I was going to say. So I agree with you. It's got to be one of those three teams. Oh, does it have to be one of those three teams? I always like. Stop. I'm gonna go Jacksonville.
It is Jacksonville.
All right.
Pete, the Steelers.
The closest team to the Steelers. All right, so they're a solid 6-hour drive from Philly. So that's obviously not it. Can't remember which is closer, if it's Cleveland or Cincy, which side. And you said that Cincy was the closest team to the Colts, so I'm going to go Cleveland is closer then. So I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, that's where I'd go too.
Correct. 135 miles.
Well, yeah,
Adam,
we also established that Philly's closest to the Jets. So
I mean that, but that doesn't mean that the Philly's not the closest to the Steelers, right? Because they can be both.
yeah, but Pittsburgh and Cleveland are pretty close to each other then.
Yeah.
Adam, the Falcons.
Ooh. So, being in Georgia, because there's nobody directly to the west. The closest west team's going to be St. Louis or Kansas City, and they're way too far out. We know it's not Tampa. I don't think I should. I'm actually going to go with the Titans up in Nashville.
I would have accepted two answers for this one because the Titans at 247 or the Panthers at 242.
Oh, I forgot the Panthers. Yeah.
Panthers.
So I am happy to take that one. Now, this is a quick reminder for the rest of the game that I'm doing driving distance between the stadiums. Just saying it. Now,
All right.
Pete, the Lions.
Okay. Wait a
I
minute.
see why he had to clarify this one.
Because something's right across the river, right? That's Green Bay. Is that the other side of the Detroit River? Not river, Great Lake, Lake Michigan. Sorry.
People in Philly, the Great Lakes are rivers.
I mean, come on, man.
I answered this so badly, but I know if I do, I'm going to give away the answer.
So, I'm going to go with... Oh, wait a minute. So it's Detroit. Fuck. Is Minnesota closer than Illinois to Detroit? I don't remember.
I'm going to do a shout out to all my Michigan fans. Detroit's here.
I did marry someone from Detroit, so I do remember that.
Oh, fuck Detroit and fuck Michigan.
I agree with you. I am no longer married to that person from Detroit. So let's see. I'm just gonna shot in the dark it and pick Chicago.
Unfortunately not. Chicago is third at 280.
Damn.
Adam, do you want to steal?
I'll do my best. But yeah, because that's why Tom had to clarify driving distance, because you have to drive around the Great Lakes to get to them. I'm actually going to go with Cleveland as well for this one.
Correct.
What?
71.
Yeah, if you go south, you hit Toledo, and then go east, and you hit Cleveland.
Yep. It's just a nice drive around the river.
Yeah. What about a ferry? Can you take a ferry? That counts, right? You just go straight across the lake.
Does the ferry take a car? Because like the Cape May ferry, I can drive my car right on and then just drive my car right off.
I would bet there probably are ferries that do that.
Yeah.
Oh, heck. Adam, Chicago.
Yeah. I really don't think this one's too hard. Actually, maybe. Nah, I'm just gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go with Green Bay on this one.
Incorrect.
Damn.
Pete, do you want to steal Chicago?
I'm going to go with Minnesota.
Also incorrect.
Damn it.
St. Louis.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Oh,
Oh.
Indianapolis is 181 miles.
See?
Wow, they're further away from Green Bay. Wow.
Yep. By about 30 miles.
Okay.
Pete, the Raiders.
I'm assuming we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders, not the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
So they're in the middle of Nevada.
They're. Yeah.
I have no concept of what that side of the country looks like.
It's
All
on
right,
the
I'll give you a hit.
other
Hold on.
mountains.
Wait.
Vegas is actually on the western edge of Nevada.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the middle, I just meant like they're somewhere in Nevada. I didn't mean like geographically in the dead center or anything. Yeah. No, because I know that like Vegas to LA was a TV show about a flight that only flew from Vegas to LA, and they were only in the air for like 20 minutes. So like I know it's a short flight. It's a good show, by the way. And not that I think that LA is the right answer. Is there a California team that doesn't play in LA? Damn. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna say the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know.
Correct.
Oh, hey, look at that.
I would have accepted Rams, Chargers, or even the Arizona Cardinals.
Vegas is close to LA. It's close to Vegas too. Yeah.
Yep. There's 278 for the Rams and Chargers and 283 for the Arizona. And by the way, San Francisco 49ers.
Oh yeah. San
further
Francisco.
north.
Right.
A lot further.
Right.
If it was in Oakland, San Francisco would have been the correct answer.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because it's actually kind of neat in doing research on Phoenix for preparing to move there at some point. Phoenix is like a 4.5 hour drive from Vegas, and also about a 4.5 hour drive, or about I think a 6 hour drive to LA, and like a
Nice.
4 hour drive out to San Diego.
Nice.
So yeah, Phoenix is very well positioned between some major cities for cool long weekends.
All right, Adam, the Chiefs.
See, I think this is a team that's like legitimately smack dab in the middle of the country. And there's
Little
also
bit.
one other team that's kind of smack dab in the middle of the country that I'm gonna go with. I'm probably gonna be wrong, but this one also kind of seems like it'd be a little bit easier. But I'm pretty sure this one's St. Louis.
I don't have a team in St. Louis.
Oh, damn it, that's right. We don't have a team in St. Louis. Shit. Well, it's not the L.A. Rams.
You can guess.
I mean, I can. Shit, that changes a lot then. There's really nobody that's that close to these guys. Dallas is the closest south. Nashville's going to be to the east. Denver out to the west, but I don't think they're close enough. And next north is Minnesota. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna go back to Tennessee and go back to the Titans.
Incorrect.
Damn.
They are number 5 on the list.
Shit. All right. Well.
Pete, do you want to steal?
Again, showing my ignorance of that side of the country, I'm gonna go ahead and say the Houston Texans.
No, they're not on my list at all.
Okay.
Dallas would have been closer.
Like I said, that side of the country is it's a fifth grader's scribble to me.
So Adam was
Chicago.
right. Adam was right. This is the dead center of a giant circle of what the hell. Number 5, Broncos at 609. Sorry, I can't count. Number 6, Broncos at 609. Number 5, Titans at 547. 4 is the Cowboys. 3 is the Bears.
Wow.
2 is the Colts.
Okay.
And number 1, Minnesota Vikings are the closest to the Chiefs. 439 miles.
That's truly like the team on the island in the entire NFL.
It absolutely is.
It blows my mind that I know so little about where these places are. I need to start looking at maps. I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
Dude.
Right. Jesus Christ. This country is so fucking huge.
It's like, it's funny. Like, I know that a lot of people give Americans shit for not like traveling and stuff. It's like sometimes it's like sometimes I find them correct, but sometimes it's also like you don't realize how big this country is. Like each region could be its own separate country. Like the East Coast can be its own country. The Midwest could be its own country. The South could be its own country. Like the West Coast can be its own country. And hell, even from like Colorado to like in like Nebraska and all that in the middle could be its own separate country. Like Indiana, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, like that could almost be its own separate country. Like there's so many different people and areas and climates and things in this country. Like you could split it up into like probably 7 or 8 different countries, honestly.
Oh, 100%.
Like California. Yeah, good.
Oh, I feel kind of bad for this next question, but Pete, the Bizarro Eagles.
Seattle Seahawks. All right. So, drawing on our conversation earlier, we did say that San Francisco was in North California, so I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, that's not entire. Yeah, that's right.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that's it, because the only other team I can think of that's even close to them is Denver.
Yep. Actually, Raiders are slightly closer, but
Vegas. Yeah.
It's still bad.
Wow.
You talk about an island. 49ers are 834 miles away. Raiders are 1,131. And then the Broncos at 1,300.
Jesus.
You drive for days.
See, this is why I'm spoiled living on I-95. I just got stadiums up and down the road.
And for our final question of the game, Adam, the Denver Broncos.
You know what? At some point, I knew the Broncos had to be on here because, again, there's almost nothing around. I'm actually going to go with Vegas. I'm going to go with the Raiders on this.
Second on the list.
Damn it.
Oh.
Pete, do you want to steal?
I'm going to shot in the dark it and say Minnesota.
Minnesota is fifth on the
Fifth.
Kansas City, isn't it?
Damn.
It's what?
Kansas City, isn't it?
Correct.
Vikings
farthest, Arizona, Dallas, Vegas, and then Chiefs are the closest.
Yeah, those West Coast teams, they are spread out.
Everything on the West Coast is spread out, let's be honest. Like,
yeah, but it's kind of what's nice about it, though, honestly.
It's so funny living on the East Coast where we're all like packed in like sardines, and like most of our yards take like 20 minutes to mow, and like we build our buildings up and like they're all touching each other. And then like I go out to the Midwest and it's just like no buildings touch each other. Nothing's taller than 4 stories. There's giant fields in between you and your closest neighbor. And it was just like, you guys realize like there's a lot of homeless people. You could just build houses here.
You know, it's really funny when you talk about that. You can really see the expansion of the country as with that as well.
It's so true. Yeah.
Like, I mean, the 13 colonies were the original. They had to pack everyone into it. It's such a condensed area. That's why shit's so to each other.
It's insane.
It's like, oh yeah, we went down to Philly for the weekend. I'm like, you went all that way? I'm like, it's like 2 hours. What are you talking about? Like, this shit's so close. It's just ridiculous. Because yeah, I mean, I think people also forget how big like some of these states are. Like Texas is massive. California is absolutely massive as well. They're just massive in different ways. Like Texas is big more east to west than north south. While it is big north to south, California north to south is so big. Like
Yeah.
from LA to San Francisco, it's like I think it's a 6-hour drive from LA to San Francisco. Like,
And that's when it's not on fire.
yeah. Yeah, I think from LA to San Diego is like 2.5, 3 hours, and they're not that far from each other. But like, it's like a 3-hour drive, I think, down to San Diego. Like, it's California is absolutely massive.
I remember when a reporter from ESPN came to Fort Wayne to do a story about the Tin Caps, and he was talking about it on his show afterwards, and he goes, "Yeah, I got in this car with the driver taking me to the stadium, and the driver goes, 'All right, get ready. We're about to come up to the Fort Wayne skyline.' So I'm looking out my window, waiting for it, and then we pull up to the stadium, and I go, where's the skyline? Oh, goes, oh, it's a couple blocks back that way." It's like, yeah, that's about the half of it. We got one big building, and everything else is like 5 stories max.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what, though, I will say, like with the stadium that they built downtown, that Parkview Field, the skyline looks pretty cool though because they dug it underground, so it's under what the normal line is. So because they dug it down into the ground and everything, you're kind of looking up and out, so the buildings look bigger and it looks more spread out. It's a pretty cool site, and there's a reason that stadium is a top 5 for all major league, minor league teams every year, like including AAA teams. Like it's it's continually voted one of the greatest minor league stadiums in the country every single year. So, and it's really cool now because now they're doing like a Festival of Lights thing in the stadium. So you can
that's
go
awesome.
in and,
I heard
walk
about
around
that.
like the concourse and stuff, and like see everything. And they've got like this little like Santa's train that goes through, and you can ride it around the concourse and everything. It's pretty neat.
That's
And
great.
you can also go down to like the field and walk around the warning track and everything, and see the like lights on the field close up and all that stuff too. It's really pretty cool.
Real quick before I forget, with for the trivia portion of the show, final score: Pete with 5, Adam with 4. Congratulations, Pete.
Oh shit! I won.
Hey.
Hey, I don't think I've ever won trivia before.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It is.
You say you don't know your country. Come on.
So, I think that's gonna be it. Unless you guys got something else you want to add on to the end of the show, right towards the end.
No,
Nah.
that's it for me.
Go Birds.
All right, guys, that'll be it for us. We hope you enjoyed it, and we thank you for joining us. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple podcast platforms at Geeks and Greeks. Thanks for watching, everyone, and may the coin toss of life ever be your favorite.